Zaporizhzhia front. An FPV operator in the Orikhiv direction slowly flew towards the Ukrainian forces' infantry. The soldier was unable to shoot down the drone at close range. He panicked. The two soldiers in the back of the pickup truck panicked so much that they couldn't shoot down the FPV drone. A Russian FPV drone struck a truck carrying Ukrainian soldiers with precision. It then destroyed a vehicle that had been hidden for the evacuation of the soldiers. Afterwards, the Russian FPV drone flew over 5 Ukrainian soldiers who remained in the open area and were not evacuated. Vostok artillery units destroyed a Ukrainian armed forces unit in the Zaporizhzhia region with Krasnopol rockets. The artillery unit hit the target with precision. They achieved this with a single shot.
Один огонь, да! Выстрел!
Don't forget to leave your opinion about the video in the comments, subscribe, and like.
On a rainy day, a Ukrainian ATV vehicle traveling at high speed spotted a Russian FPV drone at the last moment, and the passengers managed to escape the drone attack by a few seconds. The 4 soldiers in the Ukrainian pickup truck noticed the Russian FPV drone too late, leaving them insufficient time to exit the vehicle. The drone struck the vehicle's engine compartment, destroying it. A Ukrainian soldier in the Pokrovsk direction spots a Russian FPV drone in standby mode and quickly retreats. The drone's propellers are spinning, and it is flying directly toward the soldier. In the Chervony region, with VKS reconnaissance support, the Zala team of the Rubicon Center identified the location of the P-18 Malachite mobile radar station, and then the Mobile Command Center. The Mobile Command Center was hit by a Lancet missile. The distance to the launch site was 98 kilometers. Russian UAVs are using a waiting tactic. In this tactic, a UAV flies to the route where enemy transport vehicles are moving and switches to energy-saving mode. When the Ukrainian pickup truck approaches, the drone operator activates the drone's propellers and flies it toward the target. Then another Russian drone arrives on the same route and enters standby mode. It also strikes another truck used to evacuate soldiers. Don't forget to join our Telegram group. The crew of the Russian Armed Forces FPV-108 DSHP targeting a group of Ukrainian forces soldiers on the Zaporizhzhia front and conducting combat operations with drones. After a long pursuit, all buildings where Ukrainian forces were hiding were destroyed with incendiary munitions, equipped drones, and FPV drones loaded with heavy munitions. Ukrainian forces sustain casualties after each attack and constantly move to another building. But the Russians have almost unlimited drones. Ukrainian forces split into 2 groups in the last building they were hiding in. This building would be the last one for the 2 groups that split up at this moment. The Kharkiv region continues to report a series of powerful explosions targeting energy infrastructure facilities. The explosions are said to be occurring in rapid succession, with local residents reporting power outages. Poltava is under heavy attack. with numerous missile strikes recorded in the city and its surroundings. The Lancet reconnaissance and attack UAV system belonging to the Central Military Group destroyed armored vehicles and artillery pieces belonging to the Ukrainian armed forces in the Pokrovsk direction. The work of Russian UAV operators on the front lines was recorded. Stay tuned for more videos like this.
Запуск.
The Sova unit was lying in wait on one of the roads running through the forest when they suddenly spotted a truck transporting enemy troops in rotation. A quick report was sent, and the famous Lens spread its wings and flew towards the target. As a result, the truck carrying supplies was destroyed, and the enemy's rotation was disrupted. The fighting at the intersection of the Belgorod, Kursk, and Sumy regions moved to Ukrainian territory. The Northerners timely uncovered the movement of Ukrainian armed forces personnel and were hit one by FPV drones. The infantry, whose buildings were destroyed, tried to hide in the woods but failed. Yesterday, a drone strike in Cherkasy damaged natural gas infrastructure. In the village of Guevo, Kursk region, the movement of 2 Ukrainian armed forces infantrymen was detected. Then the Russian FPV drone moved in for attack and blew up the position. Archive footage. This is how the drone operators of the 39th Independent Guards Motorized Rifle Brigade of the 68th Guards Army Corps shot Ukrainian infantry in the trenches. The Grad MLRS of the 42nd Motorized Rifle Division of the Guard of the Dnieper Force Group enabled the Russian assault groups to advance in the direction of Orakovsky.
Прицел 700, угломер 53-40.
Готов.
Russian drone operators revealed the Ukrainian Armed Forces UAV control point during reconnaissance. Then, using fiber optic drones, they destroyed the UAV control bunker. In addition, UAV antennas were also destroyed. Later, during aerial reconnaissance, attack drones found 2 S-1 Gvozdika self-propelled howitzer in the same direction and struck it in succession, destroying expensive equipment. One engineering equipment was also found and destroyed during the strikes. The Russian Defense Ministry announced that the Western group raised the Russian flag in the village of Novoye. Heavy clashes between Ukrainian and Russian troops took place in the area at very close range. The infantry, whose bunkers were hit by drones, were shelled by artillery fire before they could find a safe place. Meanwhile, trenches and bunkers were raided by Russian troops. As a result of aircraft-type UAVs, UAVs capable of dropping ammunition, and close-range fire from Russian infantry, Ukrainian troops suffered many casualties and retreated. A Russian soldier placed an anti-tank mine on the road and ran over a Ukrainian armored vehicle. The crew of the armored vehicle abandoned the vehicle. Kharkiv direction. A repeater antenna has been destroyed. The infantry of the Ukrainian armed forces are camouflaging something, but I don't understand what it is. What do you think they are camouflaging? Could it be a machine gun? A Russian FPV drone is approaching and destroying what the infantry is camouflaging. In the Pokrovsk direction, a UAV checkpoint of the Ukrainian armed forces was detected. A fiber optic drone entered the bunker and exploded it. The wounded UAV operator got out and slowly moved away. Then other attack FPV drones arrived and destroyed the antennas at the UAV checkpoint. The position was broken. E-infantry is camouflaging. '58th Russian Army soldiers destroyed a self-propelled howitzer with Lancet barrage ammunition. Artillery of the 29th Brigade of the 200th Brigade of the 200th Guards. All volunteer army hit an armed forces of Ukraine concentration area in the village of Bogatyr. After a direct hit by artillery, bombers of the 11th Guards Air Force and the Air Defense Army also hit the target with 2 FAB-500s. Near Pokrovsk, a bunker with infantrymen of the Armed Forces of Ukraine was found. The fiber optic drone quickly took off and broke the door of the bunker. The infantry then exited the bunker and set off to relocate. But the Russian infantry were following them. While in the open, the Russian infantry opened fire on the Ukrainian infantry, hitting 2 of the 4 Ukrainian soldiers. The other 2 survivors ran away and hid in a wooded area. While they were in the trees, Russian artillery opened fire, but the artillery could not hit them accurately. A Russian soldier from the 255th Regiment enters a Ukrainian bunker near Pokrovsk. First, he throws a few grenades, then he opens fire inside the bunker and slowly enters. Once inside, he turns the bunker into a safe area. Step by step, the Russian soldiers move forward. In the Donetsk region, a Swedish-made BVS-10 amphibious and tracked armored vehicle of the Ukrainian armed forces was destroyed. Russian self-propelled howitzers and other artillery units continue to destroy positions and strongholds of the Ukrainian armed forces. As a result of one of the shelling, an explosion occurred. Semi-direction. Drone strikes with fiber optics are scrapping armored infantry carrier vehicles and tanks of the Ukrainian armed forces. '21st-century ambush operations. A fiber optic drone sits on the ground near a logistical artery and takes off as soon as an enemy vehicle appears on the road. There's no chance of that. What do you think about drones ambushing vehicles or infantry? Don't forget to join our Telegram group. The Humvee armored vehicle used by the Ukrainian armed forces was destroyed in a powerful explosion as a result of a landmine planted by the Russians. Russian reconnaissance UAV operators have uncovered a bunker actively used by infantrymen of the Ukrainian armed forces. Attack drones then mobilized and destroyed the bunker with a single strike. Two servicemen of the Russian armed forces opened rifle fire from close range at a bunker where infantrymen of the armed forces of Ukraine were located. At the same time, they threw grenade-like explosives inside. Meanwhile, the Russian soldiers called on the soldiers in the bunker to surrender. If they surrendered, they would not harm them and would evacuate them safely. Some soldiers accepted this offer, others refused. What do you think could be the reason for their refusal? Write your opinion in the comments. The Ukrainian soldiers in this video chose to surrender. On the borders of the Dnipropetrovsk region, Russian VT-40 drone operators struck pickups and armored personnel carriers of the armed forces of Ukraine one by one during the night. These vehicles, which were carrying infantry and delivering various supplies to positions at night, were destroyed as a result of Russian drone strikes. During the day, it may be possible to spot the drones and avoid them or shoot them down. But at night, it is the opposite. You can't see them and you can't shoot them.